Hi, I'm Nick here with AIBC Europe. With me is Gabriel Monidelle with HockeyAllsvenskan. It's like the top-tier league for ice hockey in Sweden, right? Maybe the world.
I wish it was the world, but yeah, we're a great league, and hockey is, football is the number one sport in the world, but hockey is up there challenging basketball, handball, and all those other sports for competing to be the second biggest sport in the world. So, and in Sweden, hockey, Sweden is a winter country, lots of snow, lots of ice.
So decades.
Yeah, exactly. So we're very passionate about hockey.
Brilliant. Attendances at games have been on the rise, especially since the creation of this special top-tier league, right?
Yeah, we have been, I would say, we have been working a lot. Attendance is key when it comes to whatever we work in sports. You have to really, we have to put fans in the stands. And what we have done, clubs mainly have like 4 different sources of income: sponsorships, food and beverage, merchandise, and ticketing. And from my perspective, ticketing is really the key. If there are no fans, you won't get even sponsorships. You won't sell any food or beverage or nothing like that. So getting attendance to come to the, filling the stands, that is the number one, focus for us, and has been now for the last, since the pandemic.
Sure, but you're not building off nothing.
No.
Ice hockey has been prevalent in Sweden as a sport for almost 100 years.
Yeah.
And going and growing, I guess. As you create it, as you promote it, how are you doing that?
We focus a lot on, the game day experience. It's one thing just to go to the arena just to watch an actual game, but you can do that in front of the TV. And watching games on TV, whatever sport it is, it's really good these days. Lots of cameras, lots of different, you get the commentators and everything. So we have to fill the live experience with everything that you got. Where else in life could you, be amongst thousands of people and, there's a goal and suddenly you're hugging, somebody next to you and it's your new best friend for like 10 seconds. That sort of instant joy, instant happiness doesn't really come anywhere else than in sports. So we really try to put that into focus, the live experience. And obviously, we've been very fortunate to have the increase in attendance, so it looks good on social media.
So how do you go about, say, creating a kind of uniformity of professionalism amongst teams? I guess they're all in this top-tier league, but I guess there's been discrepancies in their past, and how do you go about creating that uniform?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have to find this common goal, and once again, I'm coming back to attendance, because getting supporters to come to the arena, every team wants that. Even if, if it's sold out, you want to have a line or something like that. So getting them to just focus and aligning on this single goal, okay, we have to increase awareness. And that increased awareness must lead to higher attendance, more TV ratings, growing in digital. And then getting them to work on that, whether it be with digital platforms, CRM, CDP systems, marketing, or whatever, then it becomes much easier. Once you have that common goal, this is what we want, this is something that everybody can rally around, then everything becomes much easier.
And I guess no one's going to come to watch unless the talent is there, right? So your mandate includes nurturing the talents of the future?
Yeah, for sure. So we talk a lot about how can we get young players, up-and-coming players, to actually have some game time. And also, but we have to have some kind of, players coming over from the US or from Canada just to give that extra kind of spice to everything. But we focus a lot on having Swedish players. And obviously, Sweden, we are really good at playing hockey. So it suits us.
Great. And I guess staying in Europe, I guess in rugby and in sports like in order to play with your country, you need to play for a team in the country. Is there that if they play with a Swedish club team, they definitely get, or they have people who play with Swedish club teams are prioritized for the Swedish national team?
No, not at all. When it comes to hockey, we have the NHL that are totally dominant. So obviously all the best players play in North America and in the NHL. So when it's time for the World Championships or the Olympics, then we can get some NHL players. But for the other tournaments that are, all through the year, then every nation picks players mostly playing in Europe. So then it really doesn't matter if they play in Sweden or Finland or Switzerland or Germany or anything else, but not the NHL.
Oh, I see that you guys are also working on special projects to increase professionalism, such as for the referees to make sure that they
that's a big focus on us. The refs are part of the game. Everybody has opinions about the referees, and show me one major sport where there are absolutely zero complaints about referees, and I'll show you a liar. But yeah, that is something that we're really focusing on. And one thing that we have done this season, which has been a tremendous success, is that we have invited the chairman and the CEO of every team, so they get to follow the referees for one game. They get to sit in the locker room with the referees before the game, during intermission, and after the game, actually listening to how they are talking and how they are criticizing themselves for missing a penalty or whatever, and that has really opened up their eyes for the profession and for the hard work that the referees are doing. So that is something that I really recommend all sports, all leagues to do that. Usually there's like separation between the referees and the teams, and I don't really get that. Should have more transparency, and that has been really, really interesting.
Humanizing the referee.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any other projects that you'd like to highlight today?
I think that one of the main, reasons for me coming here to Sigma is because I think that in sports, in general, we still have a long way to go when it comes to making money and becoming relevant when it comes to everything in digital. Like I said, I mentioned the 4 different sources of income, but the 5th is obvious. It's anything in digital, and we have to be much better. We have to create better platforms. We have to create better understanding. We have to build better, I usually call it content machines. What can we do to get the supporters to use our apps, our digital platforms, wherever it may be, for more times a day and even, for longer and everything. And how can you actually start making some money out of that? And that is what I would say that's our main focus going forward now, the couple 2-3 years, because that is, we have such huge potential, because there's always, in sports, the interest is always tremendous, but now we really need to be better at harvesting the data and then monetizing it.
Cool. Would I be right to assume that another reason for the trip here is maybe it's a useful place to find sponsorships?
Yeah, maybe. Tech and sports work really well together, so we'd love to see if we can make some, meet some interesting companies that are building something and maybe do something together. Obviously, we're always open to sponsorships, but the best sponsorships is where you work really close together, so it's a mutual benefit.
Gabriel, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.